This is your opportunity as BASWA members now to reflect back on the Taskforce report and give us your views. This is the start of a consultation which will be on our website. As an initial response, BASWA have said that this is a good report at a crucial time for the profession. In fact, it could be the saving of the profession. It's a good report because the Taskforce have correctly identified the problems. They've identified the problems that social workers tell us about every single day of the week. And that's because actually they've gone out and they've listened properly to social workers, much as we've tried to do in our nationwide listening tour, but as we do all of the time. We have to remember, though, that this isn't an independent report. It's a government-sponsored report, and I think therein lie some of the difficulties, and therein lie the fact that, to some degree, the Taskforce have pulled their punches. I don't think, straight off, that BASWA believes that the report is strong enough on the College of Social Work. We certainly don't believe that it should be a national college. We think that it needs to be a UK-wide body. Perhaps that wasn't entirely within the remit of the Taskforce, but really the way that they've expressed the role of the Taskforce of the college, I don't think has been strong enough. Certainly, they've talked about improving the image of the profession. They've talked about a coherent body, which can represent the profession well. But really, BASWA should do that job in any case. What we want is a college which can take a decisive role and make that crucial link between qualifications and a career structure. And perhaps we'll come back to that later. The responsibilities of employers as well. The Taskforce give a kite mark approach to employers are going to be asked to reach certain standards, to aspire to certain standards, and actually we don't think that that's good enough. And again, it's probably a role for a college to make sure that we have really good employers employing really good social workers. The regulation of higher education too. We need the highest standards of social work education in this country. Will that simply be provided by higher education working together and aspiring? Can we leave that to a body such as the social care councils, or does that need to be a responsibility of the college as well? And of course, there's a Social Work Reform Board introduced at a fairly late stage, we think, in the processes of the Taskforce. Now, how many vested interests are represented in that Reform Board, and how can we really make sure that board really works well to bring about the change that's needed? The key, of course, to real change is to empower those who haven't, in fact, benefited from the failure of systems in the past. The key to real change is the people who work in the certain services, and all of us who use them, who pay for them, and elect the politicians who set the structure for our work. Perhaps, though, the greatest weakness of the Taskforce report, that it's identified with one government, which, after all, is due to end in 6 months, whichever government is going to come along to replace it. The greatest risk for this Taskforce report, for a report which needs to transform the social work profession, which could be the saving of the social work profession, is of the inevitable fate of so many reports in the past, is of being consigned to that dusty shelf. It's urgent that we act now to ensure that real change happens. The first thing that social workers can do, frankly, is to join BASWA, to get the strength of a professional association behind you, because social work needs social workers to challenge employers, over changes to the to ICS, for instance, which employers have the ability to make now, to bring to the attention of team managers the issues about workload, to work as a team to address the stresses that social workers are facing on the front line. We need social workers, particularly as we face one of the perhaps most fluid, most historic general elections of all time, to be prepared to challenge the existing government and to challenge all those who aspire to government to make changes now. And we need, as an organisation and with allies, to drive change now through that reform board. We need a college. We need a college of social work, a college for social work, which is led by social workers. It will have to be paid for by social workers, but that will be part of making it accountable to social workers. Above all, it needs to be owned by all 113,000 social workers across the United Kingdom. So there need to be compelling reasons why social workers should be prepared to join. Compelling reasons such as that vital link between education and the career structure. Just like every other profession, we need to ensure that people can remain at or close to the front line of social work practice throughout the whole of their careers, to be properly paid for doing that, but in order to get to those sorts of positions, to be able to demonstrate that they have the experience and the educational qualifications which entitle them to be there. We need a college which will own important products, which will be enabled to support the social work profession, which will require social workers to obtain the qualifications that it itself develops. And as I've said, in terms of higher education, in terms of employers, the college must have teeth. This is our moment for change. This has to be our moment for change. It's time for all of us as social workers to get up from off our collective knees and to take back our profession and to secure action now in these crucial few months ahead, and at the most unpredictable general election in modern history, for us all to make sure that social work has an impact on everyone who is elected. BASWA have produced our interim response. That's on the website. That's been emailed out to members across the UK. We have a consultation paper which is there alongside a paper on the role of social workers in adult services, which again is available to all members. It links with our 5-star programme that we've taken out to engage with every single local authority, every employer in the United Kingdom, and government, local authorities and social workers can act today. Take this report, take BASWA's response to the report, go to your team manager today with it, and start to plan the cuts in bureaucracy that you need in order to practice and to manage the workload that you need to have in place in order to do social work well. This is our time to reform social work. This is our time to take this good report, in which BASWA have had a strong influence through Bridget Robb, who spoke to us earlier. But this is our time to bring about change. Let's do it today.